Welcome to Around the Table. This is a very special holiday edition of Around the Table, and I have a guest with me that needs no introduction. I have Teighan Gerard of Half Baked Harvest with me today. You guys know I love home and all the styling and food, and this is where we bring them together. So T and I met online.
Yes, we did.
We have, DM'd back and forth over the years. So tell me what we're making today.
So we're gonna make my cider braised beef brisket, which is the most perfect holiday recipe because you start it in the morning, you let it slow cook all day long, your kitchen's gonna smell amazing when your guests arrive, and all you gotta do is pull it out. It's done and it's beautiful. It's so simple and easy.
So walk me through our first steps.
Okay, so we have our brisket here, which is obviously the key player to our meal. But also we have some apple cider, which I love to use. I think that people don't use it enough. It's really great, especially if you don't cook with wine. Apple cider is a great substitute, you guys. Baby carrots, because this is how my mom made her pot roast as a kid, is so many baby carrots, and I love a slow cooked carrot, okay? We have a little bit of apple butter, which again, don't knock it until you try it. Some onions, because I love onion, apple, the savory beef flavors together with the fresh thyme, which is our next one. Got some shallots, got some garlic, little flour to thicken up the sauce.
So we've got all of these great fall flavors. We've got our brisket, and what do we do first?
It's gonna be so good.
Yes.
We're gonna season up our brisket. So what I love to do is I love to rub it with flour, I love to rub it with salt and pepper, and then we're gonna do a little bit of fresh thyme on there as well. We are literally throwing it in a pot with everything else right here, and it's going in the oven. It's so easy.
Ideal.
Especially if you have kids at home or you're just like someone that fears entertaining. I think that with entertaining, especially in the holidays, so many people get so stressed about it, right? Like I'm sure you get a lot of people coming to you saying, how are you entertaining and doing all this other stuff? And recipes like this, where you can pop them in the oven and pull them out of the oven, is what you
check
do.
off a few boxes all at once.
Right. We're gonna start to preheat the oven to 375, which I think you already did. Take some flour, you guys, sprinkle it over your brisket. We're gonna do both sides, kind of rub it down. If you wanna do salt and pepper, you can't really have too much salt.
And then we got the pepper over here.
Got the pepper. And you wanna cover this in flour because the flour is really, like I said, it's going to help thicken up that gravy. You want that gravy to spoon over the meat you're gonna pull apart. It's gonna be great. Okay, great. So we'll do the next side. We're gonna skip the searing step, which is very traditional when you're doing any kind of roast like this. We're gonna kind of do that at the end at a very high temperature. And it really saves you so much time, so much cleanup. What we're gonna do now that we've seasoned up our brisket is we're gonna take a little bit of butter, we're gonna add it to a Dutch oven on the stove. We're gonna add the shallots and the onions. Add a little bit of this apple cider right now, and it's gonna help to start caramelizing those onions and kind of really start breaking them down. And the sugars in the apple cider will help those onions caramelize a little bit quicker and also make them nice and golden and really pretty, which is always key. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in the thyme. Let's drop in the garlic. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna dump in these carrots. I love a baby carrot. You guys, I think they cook perfectly and you don't have to chop anything. We're gonna give this just a little bit of a stir. But basically you wanna leave the onions on the bottom because that's gonna help them caramelize in the oven for us at the same time. Then we're gonna grab the brisket. All we're gonna do is we have a little bit of a dry white wine. We're gonna pour that over. And then we're just gonna add the rest of the cider and then cover it, and into the oven it goes.
While that's in the oven, I'm gonna take you to one of my favorite little markets.
I know you hinted to me about this, and I'm excited.
It's called Snuck, and it's just the cutest little place. And since we're making a cheese board, I thought we could go get a few things for that.
Yeah, let's go.
And we have a few hours, right? How many hours?
We have a few hours. I'd say like 4 at least.
Oh, okay. We're totally good.
We had a big roast.
Okay.
Yes. What are these little snaps? They could be the little ginger snaps. This could be good on a cheese board.
Let's do it.
It smells really good, doesn't it?
It
smells really good.
Very cozy.
About 45 minutes ago, I pulled this out. I added the apple butter on top, and the apple butter really helps everything caramelize and get that really nice browning on top. I love the pop of color from the carrots, and when we plate it, I think we'll do some fresh thyme. You can get this recipe from the new cookbook, Half Baked Harvest, quick and cozy. Truly, 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 truly some of my absolute favorite recipes in this book. So
let's bring it over to the table.
Yes, let's do that.
You were just saying off camera that I love my gingham. I do love my gingham.
It's so funny. I was just saying that, and I was saying I don't see it for holiday much, which I kind of love.
Yeah, it can be a summery look, but what I love about this tablecloth is that we did it in an unexpected color. It's this kind of deep reddish brown, and then we paired it with a natural woven placemat, and I love that juxtaposition of something that feels a little bit more glam, where you're getting the brass bells and the tapers, and then we pair it with something more organic like this woven material. Of course, we have a beautiful floral arrangement because for me, I mean, if it's holiday, you gotta go big.
You gotta go with the florals. I love it, and I see we have some dahlias in here, and those are just my favorite.
We were just talking about our favorite thing to do is set the table the night before.
It's so funny. She was telling me some of her tips for entertaining, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite tips, because my grandma would also do that. She would
I'm just like your grandma.
She would go up to a week ahead of time and set that table, but
Really?
she didn't have little kids running around. So.
Oh no, I get like the night before, and it really does alleviate the burden, because before I started doing that, I would be cooking and sweating and running around the kitchen, and then last minute I'm like, oh crap, I gotta set the table.
No,
and so
and
this
it
just
really
takes that pressure off.
that you get the table you want ahead of time, because oftentimes I would do the same thing and I'd be disappointed, like, oh, I just didn't have time to fully finish it the way that I wanted, that I envisioned in my head. And there's always a beautiful vision you have in your head, so when you can execute it perfectly the night before.
Wonderful.
That's great.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. This
so
was
glad you
so
came to
fun.
my home and made us this delicious meal.
Doesn't it smell so good?
It smells
though?
so good.
Oh, I love this